The moment his best friend lifted a fork toward my mouth, I knew I had gone too far. Everyone at the dinner table was watching. His parents, his sister, his cousins, and most importantly, my husband Daniel. I should have stopped. Instead, I opened my mouth and let his best friend Marcus feed me. Daniel slowly put down his fork. He didn't yell. He didn't ask what I was doing. He simply looked at me with an expression I had never seen before. Then he stood up. "I'm done," he said quietly. "Daniel, wait." But he was already walking away. 3 months earlier, I never imagined our marriage would reach that moment. Daniel and I had been married for 6 years. He was kind, hardworking, and loyal, maybe too loyal. Over time, I started taking his love for granted. Marcus had always been Daniel's closest friend. They had grown up together, played sports together, and even worked at the same company for a while. At first, I liked having Marcus around. Then something changed. He started complimenting me. "You look beautiful tonight. Daniel doesn't realize how lucky he is. You're different from other women." I knew those words were dangerous, but I enjoyed hearing them. Daniel had stopped saying things like that. Not because he didn't love me, but because life had become routine. Marcus made me feel noticed again. Soon we started texting. At first it was innocent. Then the messages became longer, more personal, more secretive. I told myself nothing was happening because we hadn't crossed a physical line. But emotionally, I had already betrayed my husband. The worst part was that Daniel noticed. One night he asked, "Are you happy with me?" I immediately said yes. He stared at me for a few seconds. "Then why does it feel like I'm losing you?" I had no answer. Instead of fixing things, I became defensive, and Marcus became my escape. Then came Daniel's mother's birthday dinner. The whole family was gathered around a long table. Daniel sat beside me. Marcus sat across from us. Throughout dinner, Marcus kept finding excuses to talk to me. At one point, he picked up a piece of dessert with his fork and jokingly said, "You have to try this." I laughed. Then, without thinking about how it looked, I leaned forward and let him feed me. The table went silent. I saw Daniel staring at us. His eyes weren't angry. They were broken. He placed his fork beside his plate. "Enjoy your dinner," he said. Then he stood. I grabbed his arm. "Daniel, it isn't what you think." He gently pulled away. "That's the problem, Sarah. I don't even know what to think anymore." Then he walked out. I followed him into the hallway. "Please listen to me." He turned around. "How long?" My heart stopped. "What?" "How long have you been choosing him over me?" I couldn't speak. Daniel nodded slowly. "I knew about the messages." My face went cold. "You knew?" "I saw enough." Tears filled my eyes. "Nothing happened between us." Daniel gave a painful smile. "Maybe not physically, but you gave him something that was supposed to belong to me. Your attention, your secrets, your excitement." I started crying. I was lonely. "So was I," he whispered. But I stayed. Those 4 words destroyed me. He went home that night and packed a small suitcase. I begged him not to leave. He stopped at the door. "I'm not leaving because of one dinner, Sarah. I'm leaving because that dinner showed me what our marriage had already become." The door closed. For the first time, I understood that betrayal wasn't always one dramatic moment. Sometimes it happened slowly. One secret message, one hidden conversation, one lie. One person making you feel special while the person who loved you quietly became invisible. Marcus called me the next morning. I didn't answer. He called again. I blocked him. Then I sat alone at our kitchen table, staring at the empty chair where Daniel used to sit every morning. I finally understood what I had lost. Not just a husband. I had lost the man who trusted me completely. Weeks later, Daniel agreed to meet me. I didn't make excuses. I didn't blame loneliness. I simply said, "I hurt you and I'm sorry." He looked at me for a long time. "I don't know if I can trust you again." "I know. And I don't know if we can fix this." Tears rolled down my face. "I know that too." He reached for his coffee. For the first time, I wasn't asking him to stay. I was accepting that he had the right to leave. And maybe that was the first honest thing I had done in months. Because sometimes you don't realize the value of someone's love until your own choices teach you what it feels like to live without it.